Welcome back to my channel. My name is VassaOlga. In today's video we're talking about something spicy and interesting and practically about history of makeup. So please stay tuned if you're interested. I have timestamps. If you're not interested in the recipe of the week, my first section, then you can scroll down and pick any section you like. Let's get started. Okay guys, we're going to be talking today about the founder of makeup itself, and you're going to understand what I mean in a little bit. But at first, my previous video was devoted to some problems that makeup industry is facing at the moment, because we have like a lot of brands, a lot of gurus, a lot of influencers. But today I want to focus on something a little bit more positive, and I want to dive into history of makeup, and I want to dive into history of makeup companies, how it had been developed and then manufactured and produced. I'm not going to talk about like ancient Egypt that used some natural products to boost their beauty by makeup. Queen Victoria mentioned that makeup is vulgar and no one should wear it because it was associated with prostitutes. So now I can't imagine our life without makeup. Actually, why people started using some makeup. Let's get back to this question. So at first, photography craft was getting popular, and that was the main reason why people wanted to save some money and take some photos. That's why when people wanted to take photos, they wanted to look beautiful and they wanted to look pretty. The second reason, not main, but one of the reasons, mirrors became more popular, and that was the main reason why people actually could see themselves how they look, because they were able to use some mirrors. Because when you just don't look at yourself, you don't care how you look. But when you have some mirrors and when you have a reflection, then that's a little bit different question, because you want to look beautiful. But I guess the main reason why it got so popular was mass acting. Actors, they performed on stages and they performed on camera. When they performed on stages, they applied so many products and some really bad quality foundations, let's call it foundations, that it looked ugly on camera, but it was okay for people to see from the last rows. Practically, here comes the first founder, let's say founder, Max Factor. And Max Factor, he was born in Poland, then he moved to Moscow, and then in 1904 he actually immigrated to LA, because he thought that Hollywood was on a rise and everyone needed something different but this horrible foundations. In 1914 was created the first foundation. It's called grease paint foundation, and it didn't have a lot of colors at first, but it was much thinner and it looked much better. Bonus was that it looked as good on camera as on stage. So he was like the founder of good quality foundation, like first ever foundation. And we take it for granted, but actually a little bit more than 100 years ago, people didn't have anything we have now. Let's dive into this business a little bit more. Max Factor opened his own beauty salon where he applied himself this foundation. All the celebrities liked the final result. That's why they came over his salon and he painted them himself. Before Max Factor, makeup as word makeup wasn't forbidden, but it was associated with vulgar. And Max Factor, he actually popularized this word and he turned this into something glamorous and beautiful, and it was like shit to use this word. That's why we should probably thank him, because nowadays I can't imagine a world without word of makeup. Bonus of this foundation was that it wasn't caking and it wasn't cracking as the previous foundation. That's why everyone loved the formula. And at first, I forgot to mention, Max Factor, when he moved to LA, he was selling some wigs. And then later on, he actually played with some components and he played with some ingredients and created this product that we have now. Not like exactly the product he had created, but some product that is highly important nowadays. But at first, his foundation was meant only for celebrities, and in 1918, he created this color harmony. It had absolutely different shades of powder. So after foundation, he created some powders in 4 years, and that's another baking step, another setting step. Besides, I want to mention that Max Factor, he was a great makeup artist because he created not only products, but he was applying all his products all over celebrity faces. There were like two celebrities, Clara Bowles. He created this heart-shaped lips that had gotten so popular that people were copying her. And the second look was John Crawford, a natural lip look. And again, Max Factor was behind this natural lip look. What was so impressive about Max Factor, he was taking care of undertones. Of course, we all have different complexions. That's why he wanted to create different undertones for different complexions. One of the problems was with, I don't remember this actor. If I'm not mistaken, he was Egyptian. And he had really, really dark circles underneath his eyes. So this foundation completely covered black eyes. And I would say that only in the 1920s, he popularized this term like makeup thanks to Queen Victoria. Everyone thought it was vulgar, but he popularized it and made people think that makeup wasn't that bad. It was good because it actually covered some imperfections and it created some beautiful looks, and people looked completely different in makeup. That's the point of his company, and that was the vision of his company. In 1922, he went to Europe. Before 1922, he never had his own company, so he had beauty salon. He was creating some foundations. Once he and his wife went to Europe, and they wanted to visit. Let me check this. Lechner or someone like Lechner in Germany, but he made him wait too long a reception, and that was rude. That's why he contacted his son immediately, and he said, like, we're starting our own company. I don't really want to have deal with this person anymore, because like, I really get it. You are the creator. You actually did a lot to the whole product, to the whole industry, and they're like some sorry for saying that, dick with a lot of money who's manufacturing your products can't even come down the stairs to meet the person who actually created the product that is giving you money. They changed this stick grease paint that was produced in Germany, and they made it in the tube shape, so it was a little bit different but the same product. Only in 1927, Max Factor started distributing his products nationwide, but it's really interesting how beauty companies are dealing business nowadays. In 20s, like almost 30s, he suggested one of his celebrities, like some of his celebrities, because he had like a lot of connections, to promote his products, and he would do their makeup, and it cost like $1. I guess he had created first collaborations with celebrities, and he promoted their recent movies, their recent pictures. But unfortunately, in 1970s, there weren't a lot of people who wanted to stay in the company. A lot of people left. They wanted to participate in their own interests, and the only person that was left from Max Factor family tree was Davis Factor. Unfortunately, by 1976, there were no members of his family. One businessman, Chester Firestein, he was in charge of a lot of different brands that included Max Factor as well. This line was even related to Halston. He kind of owned Halston and Max Factor as well. All these companies and this branch itself. So in 1986, Revlon bought Playtex Beauty. This is a huge corporation with a lot of beauty brands that were involved, and they bought it for $500 million in 1986. Can you imagine that? But in 1991, Revlon sold this company, Playtex Beauty, to Procter & Gamble for $1.5 billion. But in 2010, I guess sales weren't that good. That's why Procter & Gamble stopped producing Max Factor in the United States, and they actually left this business only abroad, only worldwide, like different countries abroad. In 2015, Max Factor was purchased by Coty for, you are gonna be shocked, for $12 billion. And only in 2018, Max Factor came back to the United States and continued this kind of like journey among different countries. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys in today's video, that sometimes we should see like there's like a long way from grease paint to something that we have nowadays. Though I want to mention that Max Factor is kind of drugstore makeup, but at the same, no, it's kind of in between. I guess it has the same price range as NYX. I was fascinated how one man had changed history. Guys, that is it for today, and we're moving to my last but not least section, what to watch. Actually, if you like documentary films, I would highly recommend to watch Asia at Night, if I'm not mistaken, Netflix series. I loved it. It was so interesting. A lot of guys from Japan or China or, I don't know, India, they're so busy during daytime, as I am, that when we come home, when they go out at night, they feel like they're not obligated. They don't really have to do anything. They can relax and enjoy this time. Though I don't understand how they can wake up next morning. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit different type of video. And I guess I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye. Enjoy your weekends.